Hey guys, Mike here with that video. As you can see, it's daylight outside, so I'm doing this during the day for a change. Before I head off to work, and I have a couple stuff on the back burner that I want to do, but I won't have time to. So I'm gonna do a single issue review right now because I actually had to head off to work. So, of the old stuff I have piled up on my to-do list, I'm gonna be actually hold on. Actually, I have to see what I have. What is this stuff? Detective Comics, Soldier, Avengers vs. X-Men. Um, I was thinking about doing Batman number 10, which really had this, like, everyone, the internet exploded over. But, I'm thinking about saving that for doing all three Bat books later this evening or tomorrow, or even Sunday, but, I actually decided, guess I'm gonna do actually, Spider-Man review. Maybe Spider-Man. I'm still unsure about what book to pick. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do a Spider-Man review, but not something old, something recent that just came out this week. Probably one of the most anticipated books, other than whole Avengers vs. X-Men. If you anticipate that, the Marvel crossover of Peter Parker from Marvel 616 and from the Ultimate Universe, Miles Morales, so Marvel's Spider-Man, by Brian Michael Bendis, Sara Pichelli, and Justin Ponsor. As you see, the most amazing heroes of two worlds, Spider-Man. So limited series to be. This is issue 1 of 5. Um, so as you know, for you those who are just joining us or don't know really much about Spider-Man, there's Marvel has multiple universes. Peter Parker is usually Spider-Man in all of them. In the Ultimate Universe, which is a modern retelling of Spider-Man, Peter Parker was shot and killed, and Miles Morales has taken up the mantle. Um, and then we have the Amazing Spider-Man, the Peter Parker we all know and love. That's going to be in a new movie. That's Tobey Maguire portrayed, sorta, if you like that. So, anyway, this just starts off with Spidey in Peter Parker, Spidey, swinging through the city. I guess I have to call him Peter, Pete, and Miles, but Pete swinging through New York, enjoying the skyline, really just monologuing to himself about how he loves the city. How, regardless of the shenanigans that goes on, it's it's awesome. And even though he's hated, he loves the city. Just swinging around, just taking it all in. So he sees a chase, and he manages to stop this car chase. Usually, in his funny way, he busts into the car. He does some quips, stops the car, and then the police hold him up at gunpoint. I think they forget that he's part of the Avengers, and that he saved the New York a couple times, Spider Island. But he heads off, and he's not gonna let these cops ruin his day. He sees a big flash of light in the distance, and he says, let's head over to Weird. He reaches this outskirts of this warehouse, the warehouse on this outskirts of town, and sees broken glass, and he's like, you know what? I'm not just a Russian. It took me a million times to learn about this. So let me look around, see if there's anyone in there first, and then, go in. He's like, if this is Avengers, he's very true to the character. Brian Michael Bendis does a great job writing Spider-Man. So he finds this dish with this tech, I guess, and he's like, it's not nanotech. It looks like Stark parts. Open this weird purple rift, and you see images in the rift, like people. He heads over to this desk, and he's like, he recognizes some of the technology he's found, and he's trying to get into the computer, but it's encrypted. But he picks up a big dish bowl, clear bowl, and he holds it up to the costumes that are on this rack, and he's like, oh Jesus, not him, it's him. He has a spider sense. He turns around, you see Mysterio behind him with the crowbar about to bash his head in, or a big pipe, and Spidey sort of blocks it and says, this is what's gonna happen, I break your glass later, but, usually we quip a little bit, I punch you around, we're over. So he beats him up, ties him up, and, Mysterio says, you don't have any idea who you're dealing with. Spider-Man wraps him up, and Mysterio says, he says these weird things that Spidey doesn't really get. I missed out the first time you died, but not this time. So Spidey sort of decides, he's like, you know what? This is some sort of power generator or something. I'm gonna call Tony Stark and Reed Richards. Well, but first I'm gonna send you to jail. Well, Mysterio manages to sort of to wiggle his way out the webs and picks up a blaster or a gun. I don't. It's like a laser gun, I guess. Shoots, but he shoots the generator thing and it sucks Peter up into it. Mysterio freaks out. He's like, no, screaming. And Peter sort of materializes. Well, he's in it's daytime and he's in the city, but there's something different about it. He sees the Triskelion, the Shield's base in the river, and he's wondering what's happening, where he is. He's like, it was just day, but night is now it's day. He has the shakes, EBGBs. Well, he has to go figure out what's out. So he swings on back to his apartment, busts into the window, and sees a woman in a towel. So she sort of screams at him. He gets out. He's gonna go to the Triskelion, which he doesn't know it is. There's this island randomly in the city, but he breaks up a crime first. So he beats up these guys, and this guy says, you know, that costume's in terrible taste. You know, regardless, but thanks for helping me. And the guy's like, what does that mean? He's like, the guy explains, like, we know that that costume, the Spider-Man costume, belonged to Peter Parker. You shouldn't be wearing it. It's his. And Spidey's like, what do you say? And he's like, the guy sort of explains, questioning, he's like, you dress like that, but you don't know who Peter Parker is. It's like, whatever, but thanks. So Spidey, Pete, swings off, and he's like, this is the weirdest day for him. Like, he doesn't know anything, what's happening. So he says he's gonna head back to his apartment and backtrack, but then he sees a blur out of the corner of his eye, and he's like, no way, no way, and then he comes face to face with Miles Morales, who replies with the no way, and that's where the issue ends. Now, this issue of Spider-Man was actually pretty good, especially for a setup issue, and especially for a limited series. It didn't pack too much information into it. They show you Spider-Man, they show you the two main characters right in the book. They also show you like and it's very believable, believable in terms of Marvel how this happened. You know, the Mysterio that we met in the Ultimate Universe was very different compared to the Mysterio we know. He was a lot more powerful, I guess. But this Mysterio, the one that Peter met in his world, that isn't the Mysterio he knows because it didn't recognize him. He's like, you're alive. He's like, so he's probably the ultimate Mysterio, and he somehow has a portal that lets him travel between both worlds. Maybe that's why his tech was so advanced. Maybe he stole some from the regular Marvel Universe and brought it over to the Ultimate Universe, because the Ultimate Universe is a little weird. So Brian Michael Bendis does a great job writing Peter. You know, he's written Spider-Man for like Ultimate Spider-Man for like 12 years, so it's been a long time. So he's has a lot of experience writing Peter. He does a good job with Peter. You know, even though this Peter's an adult, he's well tuned to it. But there's some weird issues I have with the book, sort of like the way the cops treat him, even though they know he's an Avenger. Some other stuff the other stuff I have with the book don't compare to stuff, but it's a solid story. I like the way the setup is. It's really interesting the way they're doing. I'm looking forward to see where this goes. I just know there's gonna be some weird Avengers team up. I'm also looking forward to see Peter's meeting with Gwen, Stacy, Aunt May, and Mary Jane, especially because in his world Gwen died, and this world Gwen did die, but she came back to life. But this is a world where his loved ones watched him die, but in this, but now he's an adult. So, so they decide to, so art by Sara Pichelli. She's been the regular artist on Ultimate Spider-Man for a while. I think it just changed to David Marquez. But Sara Pichelli, she has interesting art. I sort of like it, in all honesty. It depends. How do I describe this? The way her Spider-Man's really well drawn. I guess he's very thin. He's not too big or too small. As I said, like Spider-Man, compared to other heroes, Spider-Man's a very thin guy. Proportionate spring to a spider, so he doesn't have to be huge. But I also like the costume's very traditional. The way she draws the costume. But she also has this weird thing where she draws the ears under the mask. that you can see them bulging out a little bit, which is interesting. I don't really see many artists do that. Many artists choose to just flat a round head, but she has curvatures and grooves like the mask is clinging to his face, so you see all the shape of his face under the mask, which is interesting. Um, but I don't really find I don't really like that. I guess the in terms of the ear things, but I like it's an interesting style. But hmm, but the thing I also don't like is some of her faces get really weird. Mysterio, for one, is really weird, and his costume is really weird. It's not really. I don't. I believe this isn't the Mysterio that he knows, but the Mysterio costume is very similar to. It's the same exact one that classic Mysterio in the 616 wore, with the fishbowl and the cape and the purple and the green. But Ultimate Mysterio has that weird gas fire head thing. Other than that, not much else to say. And then it's a interesting start. Not bad. It's actually pretty good, but I'm a little worried that it'll fizzle out, especially with the idea of these two major characters joining together in a book like this, especially since the whole idea between a cross-up was like crazy to begin with. But it's interesting. I hope Brian Michael Bendis does a great job on it. It can't get terrible. It can't get any worse, I guess. Thanks for watching, guys. I have a whole bunch of other stuff. Spider-Man and Captain America. Here's Spider-Man and Batman and Batman and Robin and Avengers vs. X-Men and Winter Soldier. A lot of Winter Soldier. But thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about Spider-Man. As you can see, I got the regular Justin Chung version. I got the regular version of the cover. There's like 15 covers out. I don't know. But thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think. What you think of this comic book. Check my other stuff. And like, subscribe, whatever you like. Do whatever. Alright, have a good weekend, guys.